Hey guys, today I'm reviewing Miami Gorgeous Self-Tanning Mousse. I gave this self-tanning mousse 3.5 out of 5 stars, so I did like it. I found it better than average. I got it online and it's 4 ounces and it sells for $18. It's 4.2 ounces, I'm sorry. So that works out to about $4.30 per ounce, which is an average price point. I didn't have a problem with the price. And this is a mousse, and it comes out with like a reddish orange medium shade guide. So it's not as dark as some of them, but it's not super light either. As you apply it, you could definitely see where it's going on. But when you squirt it on your hand or your mitt, it doesn't look that dark. It looks kind of reddish, which is a little odd. The mousse does a really good job holding its texture. It's really light and airy. It doesn't melt in your mitt or anything. If you use your hands, it probably will melt, so I recommend using a mitt. And this claims to have no self-tanning smell, which is true, but it does have a little bit of a smell, and to me it smells like cardboard. The smell wasn't very strong, it was pretty faint, but I could smell it, especially when I was first applying it. Thankfully, by the next day, the cardboard smell was gone, and I did not smell any DHA, which is a huge plus. But when you apply it, the smell isn't that great, I'll be honest. Applying it's actually pretty easy, but like I mentioned, I would use a mitt, or else with mousses they can melt in your hand really quickly and get all over. I used a mousse and it was pretty easy. The guide made it easy to see where you're applying it. The one thing is, I felt like I used a lot of product when I was using this one. A little does not go a long way with this one. I'm a relatively petite person, and I think I'd only get like 2 or 3 applications out of this bottle. So that was a huge downside for me. You won't be able to use this one often just because you use so much product when applying it. The drying time, like most mousses, this one dries pretty slow. It takes about 35 to 40 minutes to completely dry, and I felt pretty sticky while I waited for it to dry. After about 40 minutes, I felt pretty dry and I wasn't as sticky anymore, so that was good. It's not one of those ones where you stay sticky all night, and I couldn't stand the way I felt. But it did take a good 40 minutes to dry, so you'll have to be patient before you put on your clothes or get into bed, especially if you have white or light sheets, because it could stain. The results of this one, this is where I really liked this one. The next morning I had a medium to dark shade tan, and it was really smooth and even. I had one streak on my thigh, but it looked more like user error to me than the self-tanner. I don't know, I'm really good at applying it, but it could have been user error. But yeah, if you're looking for a medium tan that looks very natural, I think you will like this one. You have to leave it on 6 to 8 hours, so I applied it at night and washed it off the next morning. The color was just a really nice and deep medium shade. Wasn't super dark, but it wasn't super light either. On some skin tones, it might come off a little red or orange, but for me, I really liked how it looked on my skin. It didn't last that great though. So it lasted about 3 days, and as it faded, I kind of had red patches. I don't know if that was like the reddish from the guide or something, but I had like some red scaly areas. You'll definitely need to apply this one at least 2 times a week, just depending on how much you sweat or are in the water. But yeah, I wasn't really a fan of how this one dried. It didn't look as it faded, it didn't look too natural. Men, I think you will like this one. The color is really nice. It's better than your average self-tanner. The smell isn't that bad. It's easy to apply and the price is average, but you do have to use a ton of product and it doesn't fade well at all. So overall, I ended up giving this self-tanner 3.5 out of 5 stars. And for more information on this self-tanner and many others, please visit us online at SelfTanning.com and on Facebook and Twitter.